What's up guys, it's Tommy here and it looks like Liverpool are going to sign Milos Kerkez because we already submitted a bid for him apparently because Man United are interested in Milos Kerkez as well. Liverpool want to get first in line because originally the plan was to sign Milos Kerkez in the summer transfer window, but Liverpool's defensive injuries I think also make Liverpool's decision making a lot easier on this case, and it looks like Liverpool want to jump ahead of Man United and get Milos Kerkez in the January transfer window in order to prevent Man United to steal a march on Liverpool and get Kerkez first. And strong interest from Kerkez. Multiple journalists have been confirming this. Even though Robertson, who was one of the best signings of the Jurgen Klopp era, he has struggled for consistency this season and he has been on a steady decline in the last 2 years, I think. Not a fast or sharp decline, but a slow and steady decline. And his deputy Tsimikas has been actually in good form, but then he got injured, even though it looks like he could be fit for the Southampton-Liverpool League Cup quarter-final today. Let me know your score prediction and how serious do you want Arne to take the League Cup quarter-final. How big, how strong of a lineup do you want Arne to play tonight? Leave your thoughts down below and we will preview that game in the second part of this video. And according to Spanish outlet Fichajes, Liverpool have actually made a £35 million bid for the young Hungarian. Bournemouth want close to around 45 million to consider parting ways with one of their most talented players. And Kerkez has been one of the best performing players at Bournemouth, who are flying high in the top half of the Premier League table in 8th place. Bayern Munich's Alphonso Davies has been linked with Liverpool, but he has absolutely crazy wages that I don't think Liverpool will accommodate, and I think Kerkez is a most likely target. And Kerkez, of course, who is good friends with Dominik Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai already confirmed privately to another Hungarian that Liverpool are seriously interested in Kerkez. And Kerkez gave an interview recently to the Guardian newspaper where he has set his sights on a move to a bigger club higher up than Bournemouth. He didn't explicitly say that he wants a move away from Bournemouth, but he said, and I quote, "I believe I can make it at the top level of football," suggests that he wants to be competing for the biggest prizes and the best competitions, and the chances of him doing that at Liverpool are much higher than at Bournemouth. No disrespect, Bournemouth are a good club, but they are one of the smallest clubs in the Premier League, with the smallest stadium in the Premier League, or one of the smallest stadiums in the Premier League. And another news outlet is reporting that Liverpool move one step closer to signing Milos Kerkez, and this reporter is from Hungary, who has very good connections inside, Hungarian football, and he lives in England. And he said that it seems that Liverpool have moved a step closer to completing the transfer of Milos Kerkez, because Argentinian reporter Uriel Lucht claims that Bournemouth have entered former negotiations to sign Kerkez's replacement in the January transfer window, and his name is Julio Soler, a young left back who is playing for the Argentinian team Lanús. They are playing in the Argentinian first division and they want him in the January transfer window, and this could have significant ramifications for Liverpool and Kerkez, because it looks like Bournemouth will sign Kerkez's replacement first and then Kerkez would be free to leave in the January transfer window. And Liverpool's plans have always been to recruit a left back in the summer transfer window, but because Liverpool are aware of serious interest from Manchester United, they might bring the transfer back early to January, just like we did it with Cody Gakpo when we realized that other clubs are like Man United were after him. We signed Luis Diaz 6 months early because Tottenham were after him as well. So considering that Bournemouth are now actively working on a replacement for Kerkez for the January window, it's fair to say that Liverpool have moved a step closer to getting their man. Of course, there is still plenty of steps to be finalized before Kerkez is officially a Liverpool player. Bournemouth need to accept Liverpool's bid. I think this opening £35 million bid is just to test the waters, and probably Liverpool will go higher to 40-45 million to get Kerkez. Kerkez. I think anything above 50 million is too much money, even though I rate Kerkez very highly. I'm Hungarian just like him, so I've been watching him for the Hungary national team at the Puskás Arena for a few years now, and he's a big talent, but he's not worth like 55, 60 million in my opinion. And Bournemouth got him for 15 million pounds from AZ Alkmaar in 2023. So his rapid rise in just 1.5 years has been very, very exciting, and Bournemouth could drop double or triple their money. Probably triple their money if they get Liverpool to bid 40-45 million for Kerkez. And here are their numbers. Robertson has no assists, no goals, only 4 big chances created and 1.3 tackles per 90 minutes. Kerkez already has 2 assists and 1 goal, and he played 16 games and he created the same amount of big chances. He has more tackles per 90 minutes. His kick passes are a little bit lower. But if you watch Kerkez, you can see how much fitter, how much more mobile, and how much faster he is than Robertson. And Robertson is like 31, 32 years old. So you can't fault Robertson after the grueling football that he has been put through at Liverpool for the last 7 or 8 years, that Robertson's body is slowing down. And the metrics demonstrate that Kerkez's ball playing ability is already on par with Robertson's, and he's outperforming Robertson in tackling as well. And deeper analysis widens the gap, because Kerkez has completed 70% of his dribbles in the Premier League, and he won 65% of his ground duels. Robertson only completed 33% of his dribbles, so less than half of what Kerkez has completed, and he has only won 51% of his ground duels, and that has been a big problem. That is unacceptable for a Liverpool side seeking to try and get their defense back on track, because at the start of the season we have been absolutely rock solid at the back, but with Konate injured, with Bradley injured, with Tsimikas injured, with Trent Alexander picking up an injury as well, Liverpool's defense has been rocked and shaken, and we conceded 5 goals in the last 2 Premier League games, which is too much, not good enough. And Kerkez is balanced and adept in both attacking and defensive situations. He has vibrant athleticism that seems perfect for the style of football that Arne is implementing. And Robertson is a Liverpool legend. He has played already 318 games, but Liverpool shouldn't have let Robertson deteriorate so much. We should have signed a left back in the summer transfer window. Many fans wanted Liverpool to sign a left back, but Robertson's ball playing skills have been fundamental for Liverpool's success, because look at this, the most Premier League assists by defender. Trent is first with 61, but Robertson is second with 59 assists in the Premier League. So he will go down as not just a Liverpool legend, but a Premier League legend as well. But if Liverpool want to win big trophies, we can't really let Robertson start too many games for us, because he's a liability at the moment. And Carragher actually begged Liverpool to make a January signing for Kerkez, who has been a revelation, according to Carragher. This is what he said: Andy Robertson is having a tough time, and it's a very unforgiving position, left back. He needs help. Liverpool haven't got any backup, and it's something they need to address in January. And Kerkez is aggressive. He has got pace. Even when you look at him, it looks like a fullback. Little, really aggressive after wingers on that side. He's just bombing up and down that left side. He has been superb since he has come into the Premier League with Bournemouth, and he's probably one to watch for the future, whether he stays at the club or moves on, because he has made that much of an impact. And he's only 21 years old. He's 10 years younger than Robertson. So of course he would be a better option right now, and he is a top Liverpool target. Many journalists have confirmed that. And Liverpool officials, according to Team Talk news outlet, have been hugely impressed by Kerkez's displays at Bournemouth, and they believe that Kerkez will become a top Champions League star in the future, Bournemouth want at least £40 million for Kerkez, which I think is a very reasonable price. The big question is, would Bournemouth sell Kerkez in January? I think the fact that they are signing Soler, a 19-year-old left-back from Argentina, suggests that they are planning into the future for the eventuality of Kerkez leaving Bournemouth. Liverpool have, of course, other irons in the fire. We have been linked with the Wolves' Ait Nouri, but he's having a pretty bad season with Wolves. The Wolves are struggling to fight against relegation and they just sacked their manager. Fulham's Anthony Robertson is another very exciting talent. He's a little bit older than Kerkez, but similarly very, very good potential. And you saw how much of a live wire he was for Fulham at Anfield. He got, I think, an assist or maybe even 2 assists in the Liverpool-Fulham game. And don't forget that the sporting director who brought Kerkez to Bournemouth is now the sporting director of Liverpool, which is, I think, a perfect scenario to get this transfer done. But Peter O'Rourke is reporting that Bournemouth are not letting Kerkez go in the January transfer window, at least not for 35 or 40 million pounds. So Liverpool would need to go higher if they want to get Kerkez. But of course, Bournemouth, who are a smallish club in the Premier League, of course they can't resist all of the bids. And if Kerkez says I want to go to Liverpool, then Bournemouth will have little power to prevent him going. Of course, they could ask for ridiculous prices, but Kerkez could become unsettled, and that could unsettle the dressing room, and that's not something that Iraola, the Bournemouth manager, who is doing very well, really wants at his club. And of course, Richard Hughes, having a good relationship with Kerkez and his agent, could be an ace in Liverpool's hand, giving Liverpool an inside track on negotiating this Kerkez transfer. The competition is fierce with clubs like Man United and Real Madrid in the mix, but Kerkez's arrival could also signal a refreshing shift in our tactical setup, providing us with a more robust defense and an added edge in our offensive plays down the left wing, because our left side with Robertson not as effective and not as fast as before has been a little bit stifled, and a lot of our attacks go down the right hand side. In conclusion, securing Milos Kerkez would not only be a strategic win but also a statement of intent from Liverpool to remain at the pinnacle of European football. It's a move that would surely, of course, make Liverpool fans happy, and it could play a pivotal role in our aspirations for Premier League title and Champions League success, not just this season but in the many coming seasons as well. And now let's preview the Southampton-Liverpool League Cup quarter-final. I will be honest, I think the League Cup should be the least of Liverpool's priorities, the lowest priority this season. Of course, it would be great to win it again, but we already won it twice in the last 3 years, so Arne should prioritize the Premier League and give the youngsters a chance, and it looks like that's what Liverpool will do, especially in defense, because Liverpool only have 4 fit defenders at the moment, fit senior defenders I mean. So Trainioni, Amaranallo, Jadon Dance and James Norris could all feature today. Probably Trainioni will even start, and maybe Jadon Dance as well, because all 4 of these players were left out of the Liverpool under-21 team who went to Crystal Palace earlier this week, and Trainioni is in line to get his first start in a Liverpool shirt after featuring and scoring in pre-season at just 16 years old. So if Trainioni starts, it will probably be heavy rotation. Jota also still is not fully fit, so he might not start, he might be on the bench. And I would of course play Harvey Elliott, Chiesa, but Chiesa also needs his minutes managed, so he might not start either. But I want maybe Gomez to play right back, and I would want to start Amaranallo with Kwanzaa and maybe Norris at left back to give Robertson a rest. But Tsimikas might be back for this League Cup tie, so Robertson is suspended of course, so he is getting a rest. Anyway, it's a weird one because Liverpool fans are absolutely desperate for the club to win the Premier League, But this is a cup quarter-final, and Arne Slot will take this fairly seriously because he wants to win a trophy, at least one trophy, desperately. But hopefully he recognizes that the League Cup is the least favorite competition. So Liverpool, of course, whatever team they field, they will go hard and try to win the game. Southampton are in a really terrible form, and they might rotate their team because they desperately want to stay up in the Premier League. And it looks like Wataru was training to play centre-back, so he could be a centre-back alongside Kwanzaa in this game, or maybe defensive midfielder, who knows. I would start Tyler Morton as well. And Tsimikas is training started training yesterday, so he could be playing some minutes in this game, and there will be academy players and some surprises in Liverpool's starting 11 tonight, because Liverpool desperately need to rest regulars. So Van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold desperately needs a rest. Robertson is suspended anyway, so the defense will be very makeshift, very young. But I think, giving Endo and Tyler Morton minutes is actually the good thing and the right thing to do. Gravenberch needs a rest as well. McAllister is back for this game, so he could be an option for Liverpool to have a senior player in the midfield. And this is what Jamie Carragher said: this title feels so important for Liverpool this season, the Premier League title, and you almost want to really explain that to the manager Arne Slot. That's what I feel like. I feel like I just want to get hold of him and say, listen, forget the FA Cup, forget the League Cup. I just think, honestly, I can assure you, every Liverpool fan is not bothered about those competitions this season. You are in a position where you've got a decent lead. It looks like Man City are not going to be involved in the title race, and you fancy that Liverpool can take on Chelsea and Arsenal. That's the feeling with the fan base. Yeah, most fans would agree with that sentiment, but still, if Liverpool, play the kids, and if they can get to the final, then play a very strong team in the final, because that's a one-off game. But yeah, play the kids until the final, because last season Liverpool won it with mostly the kids playing in the final, and I think that was one of the greatest trophies in Jurgen Klopp's whole tenure, winning the League Cup with that many players out. Rodri is out for Man City, and look at Man City, they absolutely collapsed. So Jurgen Klopp should get huge credit for that. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, see you later guys, goodbye.